All right, and here we go.
Sounds good.
Let's go.
Second show again.
Audio Jungle.
All right, we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. What we're going to do right now is play our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment. We've got a dynamite show today. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
Not guilty.
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. It was freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we're back again. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. And shout out to Mott Branch Library and the whole staff that continues to roll out the red, black, and green carpet in 2026. Let's get into some intros. We got a dynamite show today. We've got some post-MLK discussion. We've got some events, articles rather, from the Final Call newspaper. And also, we got something coming up for Black History Month that we're going to mention really for the first time today. Since we got everything set. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, as well as a active and registered member of the Nation of Islam here in Toledo. And 12 years ago, Jabril Bey, who says he's on his way.
See, it spoiled it already.
And I think that there may be only a few times that all of us that started this thing shown up at the same place at the same time. I don't even, maybe we're all the same person.
Though.
Right. So what am I wearing today? I have on a t-shirt that commemorates or acknowledges the Tulsa massacre, the destruction of Black Wall Street, and shout out to Barbie Huffman, who not only paints our CSRN paintings that we have on display in our studio, she also made sure that she brought this shirt back. I've got my beads on. I've got my black rim glasses by Optigo and Twix in between. So shout out to Christian Moncrief in Optigo, either the bus or check her out at her brick and mortar at the corners of Franklin and Bancroft. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And we've been doing this for the activist culture and the protest community together for
almost 11 years.
Right. And I got a crawler that says CSRN 12 years and still going. Maybe I'm a little bit ahead of my time.
I can see it though.
All right, yeah. So
I don't see myself doing nothing else.
And 12 years of unbossed, unbent, unbowed, unbullied. It's a blessing. We're not acting as if this is something that we did ourselves. There were so many others that had a hand in it, and hey, we're still standing and making it happen. And before I get into a rant, I'm going to pass it on to you. If you could do your intro, what you got on. Seemed like we must saw the text message all black today. All right. So if you could do your intro, and then we'll get on with the rest of the show.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, the treasurer of this wonderful organization that, I do believe we will see 12. I believe we'll see 20, if possible, if there's strength left in my veins and all that stuff. But there's going on 11 years of passing the decade and passing the torch on to other organizations and being there when we can and giving advice, and just the fact that we're not the crazy people on the corner no more. And the corners, they kind of have changed a little bit.
No, I still feel a little.
Got some different flags on them and some different messaging, but it's still about injustice and stuff like that. So, we lend out our expertise or knowledge that gained through the streets that we have. We thank you each and every week for coming and, listening to two guys and a guest or several guests each and every single week, because that is a beautiful thing. There are many podcasts out there that you could be watching that are triggering or toxic or antisocial and all that stuff, but you chose to come and watch ours, as we have our guest coming in here right now who's probably going to be possibly quiet, is we get on with the introductions and everything like that. But yes, as Brother Washington said, we got one of the founders of the organization in the building right now. So it is going to be a really, really, really good show. And yeah, I look forward to all of this. You know, it's interesting because over the past decade, we've seen many organizations grow and adapt and be all of the stuff. I tend to doom scroll right now, so I catch a little bit of everything that's going on in Minnesota and around the country. And happy MLK Day to everyone out there that got to celebrate it and got to be at least a small part of the revolution, or wake up a little bit that these atrocities are not even grandparents away from us.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I'm grandparent. What you mean? All right, I'm grandparent, and we still going through. All right.
Yeah, I became granddad last year.
Yeah,
I like
so
that.
no,
I mean,
we stepped. We granddad.
My
we
grandmother was alive during the time of him and all this stuff, revolution going on, and I think it still looks the same. It's just, I don't know, politics, the different directions.
True.
Of things going on right now. But, you know, how do you get to this point? How do you become so comfortable with yourself or with your actions that you can run an organization that spans more than a decade? Well, you have to have something like a Bible, a walls and foundation and structure to what you're doing, because there will be many provocateurs throughout the years that will come in and say, hey, my way is better than yours, because of some doctrine or degree or office they hold. And then as soon as the situation gets hot, they dip out.
That's right.
We really don't got that time to dip out as grassroots organizers and stuff like that, because we ain't in it for the money or the fame or the stuff like that. We're in it to help people. We don't get to help everybody. What's that famous quote by Harriet Tubman about freed 1,000 slaves? I could have freed 1,000 more and all that stuff.
If they knew they were slaves.
Yeah, and many people that don't. So I hope you tune in 5 minutes of heat. It might be actually going on the flag raiser we'll talk about later, but it is about that. So we have a mission statement
and the guiding principles, and that helps keeps all this together, because it's not easy, but we're making it work.
Yes, it gives order and some type of structure to what we are trying to build. No, we're not trying to be like capitalist or Marxist or any other ist, but ourselves. We're trying to find out what our community needs individually and go out and travel to what other communities have, not steal it from them, not cold pan it or tendernize it, whatever that word is, from them. But I love to throw social media humor content and stuff, but in the end, we want to grow something that is going to last. A decade had last, and we hope to teach future generations through our struggles what it means like not to be bought. And the last thing I forgot, because I always forget to describe to people what I look like, because we're not just on your YouTubes and your Facebooks and stuff like that, but we also got a Spotify, so you can tune in to listen to us. And we want to keep our authenticity, that word, correct, because it's us in those photos behind us and in those murals and in those streets. So I am a big brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and stones and bones and artifacts from doing all of this for the past 11 years, writing books, creating art, going to museums and funding programs through what we felt was best for our community and everything like that. I'm wearing one of my custom hoodies, one of my custom hats, and our guest, as you know, if this is their first time on the show, gets a custom dangly thing or a crystal that I make from my travels around the world. But here's our mission statement. We hope if you find an organization that you believe in, they have something similar, don't have to look like ours, because ours evolved over the years. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, provoked, attacked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police immunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership, yes, local leadership, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
All right, maybe later on we'll get into some Black Lives Matter moments, some of those things that over the years that kind of stand out to you. And these are the guiding principles. This is one of the ways that we ensure that we don't implode, we don't just implode from within. They say there's nothing from the outside could do without it happening inside first. So these are the CSRN guiding principles. All Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And that means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
I talked about earlier that we're going to be announcing the flag raising. We'll get into that a little bit later on, but we've got the time, we've got the place where it's going to be, and there's a two-part. Well, we'll talk about that later. Hey, what we'll take a short break. And we'll come back with our special guest for the day. Well, really, a family, but for the lack of a better word, I'll say a special guest. This is the CSRN Podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Elgic channel. In our last video, we learned how to properly clean our TV for that perfect movie night. In case you missed it, you can check it out by clicking the link below. But what's a TV without its remote control? It's the accessory that gets handled the most and collects a lot of germs, dust, and grime. So today, we're giving it a proper clean to keep it fresh and ready for use. And the best part is, is that these same steps can also be used for streaming sticks, gaming controllers, and even household appliance remotes. Now, let's get it clean. To clean your remote, all you need are household items. You'll need a microfiber cloth, a small brush or toothbrush, a toothpick, rubbing alcohol or bleach-free disinfecting wipes, and a cotton swab. Now, to clean our remote, first remove the batteries. Then, tap the back to shake out loose debris. Use a toothbrush and toothpick to remove crumbs and dirt between the buttons. Next, for an initial wipe, dampen your microfiber cloth with alcohol or use disinfecting wipes to wipe down the front, back, and side of the remote. Remember, never spray liquid directly on any controller. To ensure the areas around the buttons are disinfected, dip a cotton swab in alcohol, squeeze out the excess, and wipe the nooks and crannies around the buttons. Then, do a final wipe down. Lastly, allow the remote to air dry before reinstalling the batteries. And there you have it, a fresh and disinfected remote control. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. You can click the link in the description box below for our other tutorials. And don't forget, cleaning is a family affair. See you next time, and as always, let's get it clean.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
As long as you're a real person, you're good with me.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Hey, listen, CSRN tradition is whenever we have a guest, we always ask them who they are, what are they wearing, and what are we talking about today? So, brother, who are you? What are you wearing, and what are we talking about today?
My name is Jabril Serapis Bay. A lot of people call me Brill or Brillo. I got on a custom-made, like knitted, very nice and warm quilted coat. I got on a hoodie that's black, that in white letters it say "God got me," and some black, like super dope pants and some black Adidas.
All right.
All black Adidas. You know, we on black. And my name's Jabril. People call me Brillo. And I want to talk about the tools that should be left for the youth that are many times not left or given to you.
Right. All right. So we met earlier this week and chopped it up about a lot of things that's going on. And you've always been focused on the young people and the things that they need to know.
And not just young people, just people. They don't have to be young people, but they have to have the young spirit, the spirit in them that keeps them young. Yeah, I talk to the spirit, not the people.
Okay, all right. Should be writing this down. All right. So when we were talking about some of the tools that you believe aren't being passed on or not being shared enough. What are some of the top few tools you believe need to be passed on to those who are young and young at heart?
Okay, first thing I want to do is like I do remember that my brother Jody, you know what I'm saying, wanted to give respect and a shout out to the Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King. And one of my favorite quotes from Martin Luther King is he said we should create our own we should create our own reality and have other people respond accordingly to the reality that we create. So that is one of the tools that I think that should be left and given to us as youth and to children. You know what I'm saying? Because like the problem is we live in a society that's dominated by people who love to dominate.
Yeah.
So when we're being dominated all day, it's kind of hard to remember certain lessons. And a lot of adults, when they come into parenthood, they don't have all the tools and lessons necessary to become the best parent that they can be. So that's why one of the things is important of forgiveness. That's a tool. Forgiveness is a tool. It is, and it's important to forgive our parents because they did a shitty job. And it's not their fault because they was handed shit. So what they gonna do?
Right.
Anyway, I forgot what you asked me, my bad.
Yeah, just some of the tools that you think those who are young and young at heart need to have. And you mentioned the tool of forgiveness, or the ability to allow some things to be let go,
right,
in order for you to move forward. And it doesn't mean that we condone what happened or we like what happened, but there are some answers that we may not get. And at one point, I'm gonna have to create some closure for myself instead of living in the pain of the past and what wasn't explained to me. So I always thought that that's a powerful tool to use, and I think that our young people and people my age that are young at heart could benefit, from that.
Yes. So that one of the things, it's so many things that we weren't given as youth and as children. And so many adults are children in adult bodies.
Yeah,
and they're hurt and they're in pain. And they don't know how to function in society where if you don't have material belongings, material
Right.
things, or if you don't have this and that or a certain status, then you treat it like you're obsolete. So there's a lot of things that we need to start off with. The first thing is love. We have to know how to love ourselves because, like me, for example, I didn't learn how to love myself till late in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I did not know I was supposed to love myself. I thought I was supposed to love everybody else. And when you loving everybody else and you don't leave room for love for yourself, then you left with emptiness, resentment, anger, and all kind of stuff. So the first thing that the lesson, the tool that needs to be left is to love yourself. Now, loving yourself does not mean becoming narcissistic,
Yeah.
or becoming like me, and fuck everybody else. No, that's not love. When you loving yourself is when you taking the time to listen to yourself,
I like that.
to know how to heal yourself from past pain, past trauma. And so it's a process. So one of the main important things is to be patient with yourself. But before you can become patient with yourself, you first have to become aware of yourself.
All right. So for you, man, when did you start to understand this and start thinking this way?
I was incarcerated as a youth in juvenile for a crime I did not commit. I got abused by the staff here in this city called I forgot what it was called, but it was a juvenile facility and they wasn't nice.
Is that CSI?
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, I learned there how to. Well, some of this stuff is still from mental illness. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us suffer from mental illness, but we're not aware that we suffer from mental illness. So that's why it's important to become quiet and to listen to yourself, which I learned how to do while incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? It's because I spent a whole lot of time in the hole because I kept getting aggravated and fucked with. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I learned that being still and being quiet helps you to become aware of how you feel and how you think. once you become aware of your emotions and your feelings, that can point you to why you're thinking a certain way, because your emotions are the baseline for your thoughts.
All right. So, is it difficult or is it impossible to change the way a person thinks? Is that something that
It's not impossible. Okay, so my first thing is how I'm a natural born teacher. I'm a natural born healer. I'm a natural born leader. Although I choose not to be a leader because I'm cool.
All right.
Anyway,
I feel you. I feel you. Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the first things I would do with young people, because I've always been a giver. I'm a giver. You know what I'm saying? Even though I used to rob people and shit like that, I am a giver. You know what I'm saying? So one of the first things that I give to the youth is affirmation. And I'm talking, I was doing this way back in the day when I was tutoring kids in Atlanta and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But first thing I do is I have them write, and you have to do it in repetition. So when you do it in repetition, it creates a crease inside of the brain or the mind. You know what I'm saying? Which can create a new pattern. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do is create new patterns of thinking. You know what I'm saying? So I would have them write. The first thing I would have them write is I love myself. Very simple sentence. You know what I'm saying? A lot of children had a problem with writing it though, because they come like, it's crazy. A lot of kids come from pain that you probably can't even fathom. You know what I'm saying? It's children out here going through hell of a shit. And they come to school. I was seeing kids looking scarred up, and like I just would be patient and pathetic with the kids, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of children come from a lot of pain because their parents are in a lot of pain. And
That's right.
and so they don't know how to acknowledge their children in the proper way. But the first thing is affirmation. So when you create an affirmation and you make it repetitive, that creates even if you're not even thinking about it, or you thinking it's corny or whatever, that is going to create a new thought. It's going to stimulate and activate a new thought in your mind that is going to change the direction. And if you're going in a direction you would not like to go, it would change the direction and the trajectory of your thought process.
All right. I want to give a big shout out to Tasha that's checking us out, and she agrees with you that first tool is to learn to love yourself. And I always wanted to ask this from our guests: how do you define that word love? I hear it thrown around a lot, Jabril. How do you define that for yourself?
For yourself?
Yeah.
Well, when I define love for myself, I think of, first of all, patience, because I'm very harsh on myself. I'm not very harsh on others, but I'm very harsh on myself. And I still haven't learned how to use my inner voice in a nice way. So I'm practicing that. Well, I'm not practicing, but I'm keeping the thought in the forefront of my brain. But I would see patience as the first extension of love for yourself.
Okay.
Because you're going to make a lot of mistakes.
Right. So patience. When you talked about those positive affirmations, what was it that made positive affirmations agreeable?
Positive affirmations saved my life because I was always going through a lot of turmoil, chaos, and trauma. And I also, by going and coming from that, I also projected that a lot out a lot into my external world. So positive affirmations helped me a great deal. It prevented me from hurting people, because I am a felon. I have shot people and done stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've hurt people, and people have hurt me to make me hurt them. I've been hurt by people.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff. So positive affirmations have helped me to create a exit, a door, a window. You know what I'm saying? To step outside of an environment that might see, a lot of people may be in environments that they cannot escape. So the only way
I never thought about it like that.
Only way you can escape an environment that you cannot escape is to create a new environment in your own heart and mind. And once you create that new environment then begins to permeate out into your external world.
Right.
It's slow and gradual. It ain't gonna just, well, if you powerful enough, I'm still working on my faith and belief in myself. But if you powerful enough, you can do it overnight. You can do it in an instant. I'm just not there yet.
Okay. All right. I want to give a shout out to Sister Yvette. She's watching us from, I guess, the comfort of her home. And she sends peace to you, brother.
Assalamualaikum.
All right. That's what's up. And listen, I got a couple more things. There's a couple of more things I want to ask you. We're big on self-care and we're big on gratitude. And for the people that are watching real quick, maybe 11 years ago, we were sitting in your house and we were talking about a different way to organize. Myself, Mike Leonardi, and a few others.
What's up, Mike?
Yeah. And you all came up with this community solidarity day or community solidarity thing. And were it not for that, those conversations in your home, all right? It's a great chance that we wouldn't be here today. So shout out, all right?
Yeah, and that time has changed because now I'm very private and I don't let people come into, because I learned even though that was a good thing that we had, because I used to have people at my house all the time from all over the world.
That's true.
All kind of nationalities. We smoking, we playing chess. He wasn't smoking, but me and my people, we eat shrooms. You know what I'm saying? We doing all that. But I was about to tell y'all something. Self-care. So another thing is that I learned, because I'm learning a lot. I'm still learning. I gotta tell y'all that I believe that this world that we live in is a university for us to learn. We're supposed to learn and continue to learn until we leave, and then we learn some new shit when we go. And so it's up to you if you want to take the opportunity to grow, because you like a plant and you got to water yourself. You got to make sure you're in the right soil. You can't have poisonous insects and stuff around you that's going to mess your soil up, and you can't have obstructions that's going to block the sunlight. You got to start loving yourself. This is what love is, when you love yourself. When you know that people who don't mean you good need to stay away from you, you need to stay away from them. If you know, if you weak for a certain thing and it's not really healing you and helping you to progress, you need to let it go. It's so much stuff, you know what I'm saying? But love is the key. You know what I'm saying? Love is the most powerful frequency. I'm telling you, it's powerful, but love for yourself will help you to realize who you are. You are so great. You are so powerful. You can create your own reality, just like Martin Luther King said. You know what I'm saying? He said, create our own reality and have other people respond accordingly to the reality that we create.
Right.
So that means focus on your own thoughts. Focus your imagination. To focus, one of the first things they took from us was our imagination, so that we can imagine ourselves out of this bullshit.
That's right. That's right. Okay. All right. Tell us how you really feel. All right. Last thing. We're big on gratitude. Could you list 3 things that you're grateful for?
I'm so grateful for everything. I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for yesterday. I'm grateful for being upset. I'm grateful for being angry. I'm grateful for being hurt. I'm grateful for losing the opportunity. I'm grateful for earning the opportunity. I'm grateful. I'm just grateful. That's my continual frequency, is gratefulness. Even when I forget, I'm a recall again that I have to be remembered to be grateful, because we are all here standing on the shoulders of others, and we are all here, even if you don't think you are, off the goodness and kindness and empathy of someone else.
All right. Hey, listen, we got to have you back. I got a few more minutes left. I'm going to bring Jody on to go over some current events. We got a couple of issues, a couple of stories from the final call. Can we count on you to come back and grace the studio?
And I'm grateful for being here with CSRN. And I just want y'all to all know, no matter what, because my people at my granny church, they said that I look mean, and they told my granny to tell them for me to be nice when I come in. I want y'all to all know I love y'all, man, no matter how I look. I might look mad, but I'm not. I mean, I am mad. But I ain't mad at y'all though, man. All right, to the world blow.
All right.
One nation.
One nation. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
It's the Panama Canal.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. A big shout out to our brother Jabril Bey, who was one of the co-founders of this idea that just regular people can speak truth to power. They don't have to be pastors, preachers, professionals, or politicians. If you got a bullhorn and some straight facts, we can get it in. And speaking of facts, I want to go over this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. The headline is Iran resists U.S. death threats. Resist U.S. threats. And I guess the U.S. only got one type of threat. That's death. All right.
It's not like it lately.
Right. And this is from the staff writers of the Final Call, Sister Anissa Muhammad and Sister Nissa Islam Muhammad. And they wrote that Iranian officials accused the U.S. and Israel of orchestrating riots by placing operatives among protesters. We know about that.
Yeah, we do.
And carrying out a coordinated digital warfare campaign fueled by disinformation. And that's according to Press TV. And that's a legitimate news site if you want to get balanced news. It goes on to say Iran continues to stand strong as the United States government issues threats and new sanctions against the Muslim country after peaceful protests turned violent. So keep your head on a swivel regarding what's happening in the news today, and most likely some of the things that we're reading and watching are not factual. All right, you're only hearing corporate American news. All right. I always say if it's got a commercial, you better side eye that. All right.
Well, we got commercials now. See?
They
can side eye.
But ours was one of our commercials, the Final Call newspaper. All right. So yes. All right, whatever. All right. And the next is an editorial from this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. So I don't know if it's on page 19, but you'll see it's out with the Final Call newspaper, or stop up at the Mott Branch Library. We'll have this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper here. And this, the editorial is "Every nation has a fixed and limited term, including America." It says this year will mark the 250th birthday of the United States of America, which will commemorate the signing of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. There are grand events, celebration, and parade schedules sure to be full of pomp and circumstance as the country marks this historic moment. But what exactly will folks be celebrating? The promises of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and the statement that all men are created equal, outlined in the document, were always meant for white only. Since its inception, the United States has and continues to maintain its legacy of oppression, violence, and hatred toward Black and Indigenous people. Each year, the country's founding has been a constant reminder that the promise has been deliberately withheld from us. Why? Because we have never been viewed, considered, seen, or treated as citizens or real Americans. Family. All right. Final Call newspaper. Pick up this issue of the Final Call newspaper. And this issue is Iran resists U.S. threats. And also get that article and check out that article by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, The Unraveling of a Great Nation. Lastly, on the 3rd of February, Jody, we're going to be at One Government Center. Every year, CSRN, along with the Lucas County Commissioners, the NAACP, and the Port Authority, we raised the Pan-African flag. Big shout out to CSRN, because it was us that decided that we were going to do something different regarding Black History Month.
On the 100th year anniversary of the flag.
Right. And also, I got to give a shout out to Pastor Willie Perryman, because at that time when I was trying to figure it out, I was running into a lot of roadblocks. And Willie Perryman, at one of the NAACP meetings, he pulled me to the side and said, "Hey, look, if this is what you want to do without crashing out," he didn't say crash it out, but I was on the way. Yeah. He gave me some steps in.
But that's him right behind Paula Hicks Hudson to my left.
I think so. Right. Yeah. And every year, I think this is year number 6.
Yeah, year number 6. 6 years, the only time the State of the Union has actually let a flag fly on government property.
Right. So show up February 3rd, 10:30 for the outside portion, and then 10:45 to 11 o'clock we'll have the inside portion, where we'll have our elder, Brother Terry Crosby. We'll have Jody Summers, myself, Dr. Tracy Perryman opening up with Lift Every Voice and Sing, and a host of the of politicians and professionals that support this. So we're gonna have some hot words, as we normally do, for that time, because it's about us. And big shout out to CSRN for keeping it going. We'll have our 5-foot by 8-foot flag flying from the Lucas County flagpole. So join us there. Jody, we've got about 10 minutes left. We got to get into some sub dates. We got to get into our 5 minutes of heat. Then we're going to pay some bills and get out of here.
All righty. And again, I hope to see you out there. We have one more show, one more show before.
Yeah.
Then to announce that to everybody. And for those of us that were not here, because we were not here last week, there is still the program going on for, if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, to get in with the city and get some credentials, learn some other stuff. The housing program is open. So even if you have Section 8 or a flyer like that, they are looking for applications, as long as you have, I think the last time I saw it was 1 to 2 years of working credit history and stuff like that. So make sure you take advantages of that. upcoming tomorrow, if you are from the Toledo area and stuff like that, since this is my first feature of the year, I might as well do a shameless plug.
Hey, go ahead.
I will be performing at Toll House or Lucille's inside of Toll House for Poetry and Soul. Doors open at 6:30. Performances start at 7. It's going to be me featuring and another performer named Bungalow. So it should be a good night. I look in forward to doing it. I have a set, the chokehold of AI, that I'm going to be performing that night. So it's about 15-20 minutes. Let me know all the stuff that I'm going out. But for those of you that missed us last week, I'm going to go back to our last show and then tell you some of the things that have gone on in the city and stuff like that and everything leading up to today. So going back to Saturday, January 10th, we had the Vision Board event going hosted by Latoya Marie. She's an awesome author and poetess and everything. You might have seen her with me during the Reinvest tour, and she has the 60-second Spark books and everything like that. But she hosted it at the Jamaican Reggae Kitchen Restaurant. See, all the words and stuff like that. But that at that lounge, it was for the 2026 Vision Board Party, Jamaican Reggae. It was at 1208 North Reynolds, Toledo, Ohio. So if you were able to attend, it was 4 to 7 on January 10th. Also on January 10th, where I was at Cloistered Poetry, that was at the Attic on Adams. Shout out to Joni McKintry, our poetry laureate, currently still, for hosting these events and everything. My mentor in the business and everything like that, Kay Renee, was one of the poets that was there performing, and it was an awesome night. The other person was Linda. I can't pronounce her last name, but she was an awesome poetess, and the night was good to see everybody out like that. Also, Saturday, January 10th, was the second Saturday Salon, State of Social Services. This was held by Sean Nestor. You know him, is a good friend of the channel and our organization. True. But the State of Social Services with Sandra DeSanto, that was from at 6 o'clock, and that was at 2357 Scottwood. Going a little bit further, we had the tea for the week that you guys might have missed us. I actually made it out to the TRL or Toledo Listening Room at Handmade. One of the things I tell people, if it's Tuesday after dark or afternoon, I'm probably not going to make it. But since we were having a hiatus for the show, I actually made it. It was their 6-month anniversary, and it was beautiful. I got to practice some pieces. Somebody made me a little origami thing, and it was awesome. So if you're able to make it down to their Tuesday open mics, I think it's like twice a month. The next one, I believe, is at Black Kite. I implore you to go and hang out and do all of that good stuff. Thursday, January 15th, there was studio sessions with Lethal, 4662 Monroe. This is at the 329 Studios and everything like that. And it was their first open mic of the year. So I came in, saw Moni Moan, and did some stuff. So this will be number 4 of the year. So I'm still, ruminating around. I may not be on social media as much, taking some me time and breaks and everything like that, but still out there performing. Friday was the night of Fire and Glass at the Switchboard. There was a whole bunch of R&B, hip-hop artists. Shout out to Robin Jones. Shout out to my friend Chris P. Do-A-Lot, and can't remember my other friends, but they have the yellow tape. If you ever seen my staff, I carry around artists and stuff that I met at events and stuff. So I got to show them that their sticker had been to Paris and all of that and stuff last year. It was a good show. Got to see a lot of my friends who I don't when I'm performing, because I'm almost never in the audience. Saturday, January 17th, we had Developing Story Arcs. This was through Spark Lab and Opal Allen, one of my very first directors in film and shorts and stuff like that. She does that here at the Mott Branch Library. That is on Saturdays. It's normally like the 3rd Saturday or 2nd Saturday of the month. Sometimes I can make it, but unfortunately I had to work. So if you were able to make that class, that was from 2 to 3:30 in the next month, hopefully I might see you there. If not, I still suggest that you go up and show up to the acting adventures. It is completely free. They provide snacks and stuff like that. So, and now bringing it back into what was yesterday, there were several. So I'm going to try and list the couple that I know of. MLK Day celebration events. One was over at our Toledo Museum of Art. This was Strength in Unity from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. They had a host of things going around. Shout out to all of the directors and my coworkers and stuff that make sure to put this event together each and every single year. There was the MLK Unity Day celebration. This was online, and that one was online from 10 a.m. to noon. UT also, where we kind of interrupted and got sent back, and it was told, hey, you could be guests next year. They had their MLK Day celebration, and also Fame Studios, Shawanda Johnson and their family at Fame Studios and stuff. They did like a turkey Thanksgiving food thing for Black History Month. So I saw that on the socials as I was doom scrolling, and shout out to them. I know we still have to have her in here to talk about her studio and the expansion and everything like that. But that is the things that were passed. There are a couple things coming up. I think I already spoiled one by telling you I'm performing tomorrow. So don't mind me there. It's just lapse of judgment and thinking what I was saying. But also coming up tomorrow is the Kendrick Spirit event. This is at the Toledo School for the Arts, or through the Toledo School for the Arts. It's going to be at the Portal, event by River Gallery Studios. I'm pretty sure it's a whole bunch of artists and visual effects and stuff like that. That is from January 10th until January 23rd. It should be, I'm guessing, an exhibit. So that installation is just starting tomorrow. Also tomorrow, as I was speaking with Opal, if you are interested in getting into the filming industry here in Toledo, Film Toledo, we have 4 mixers during the year. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there because I already spoiled it and said I'm performing somewhere. But they have their film mixer going on 6 to 9 p.m. And this is going to be at the at Osteria downtown. If you haven't been there, I suggest you go. The last time we went, it was very interesting. I enjoyed it. It was a little bit bigger than what we had for our space when we were right across from the stadium. But that is 6 to 9. Shout out to Film Toledo for always hosting engaging events and everything like that. Lastly, until we come back, I actually don't see anything coming up for my next things. It is the end of the month and stuff like that. So if you got something that's going on in the community, I've been trying to share a lot more onto our page, if you might not have noticed. But just tag us, let us know, and we'll try and get the message out there.
All right. Hey, let's go ahead and finish some things. What we do, just subscribe, hit the notification, let us know that you're thinking about us and that you're watching what we do. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Listen to us on Spotify. Check us out on YouTube. Yes, we're going to be posting on X, formerly known as Twitter. If you want to support us, you can support us via Cash App. That's the cash tag CSRN Toledo 419. PayPal is CSRN 419. Pick up your Black Lives Matter yard signs. Pick up your Defund the Police yard signs. The spring is coming, and you'll be one of the first on your block with a brand new Defund the Police sign. And a big shout out to the Multi-Faith Council that stopped by earlier here at the Mott Branch Library to show some love. They're organizing and they're pushing peace and understanding and camaraderie among those of us in the faith community. So if you get a chance, check them out online too. There's going to be a prayer breakfast coming up soon. Man, I think that I've covered. Oh, I forgot to mention this. And
what did you do during our time off? Were you able to make it out to anything?
Oh, I was at the NAACP had a MLK observation at Macedonia Baptist Church. That's right there on South Cove. I think it's maybe the first or second time that I was there. They had Dr. Anthony Wendell from from Detroit, who is head of the largest chapter of the NAACP in America. And that church is important because I've been to that church quite a few times in Detroit when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan spoke there live. And my MLK Day was really worthwhile spent at that church with the NAACP. So shout out to Sister Presidente Darlene for having and organizing an excellent event. Shout out to everybody, and particularly the young brother that's part of the youth committee that did some spoken word that was just dynamite. Our young people need to be applauded. So I spent my time there. It was cold though. All right.
Yeah,
but
it was cold out.
Quite a few people came out. I saw quite a few people that I know. CSRN in the house, Nation of Islam was in the house, myself and Sister Yvette. And MLK Day it's well spent when we organize it for ourselves. And before I go, I wanted to just play this short video. This is the video of 10 years ago when we disrupted the MLK celebration at Savage Hall. About 20 or 30 of us showed up, let people know you'll be getting back to things the way you say you are. Let me let this play out. Excuse me, maybe another minute left in this.
United will never be defeated. Come on, we have to.
United will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Thank you so very much for sharing your opinions today. We thank you for sharing your voice.
Yes, sir.
Hands up, don't shoot! Hands up, don't shoot! Hands up, don't shoot! Hands up!
Or planned by us.
It was planned by us. All right. And in planning that, Jabril was there with us.
Yes, he was.
All right. And in planning that was a time where
balcony.
See, that was a time when what you protesting was not popular.
Every weekend.
I remember the amount of phone calls that I received when we were there, people asking us that heard about what we were going to do, begging us not to do it, telling us not to do it, pleading with us not to do it. But you're not going to represent Dr. King and have the fire department, the police department, the Boy Scouts,
military
the University
services.
of Toledo, the military, the city of Toledo. Everybody had a place on that stage except Dr. King. And I was on the planning committee for the prior 3 years before. And I saw where this thing was headed, was going to be nothing about Dr. King. So I'd asked them to make some changes, Jody. At our last meeting, they were like, thanks, no thanks. I'm like, bet.
So
all right, I got you.
It was a different time because I can't think of now, the people showing up with signs and events and stuff like that because they would be like, where's your permit? We just guerrilla tactics. And that was something that was good about then was it was just people connecting with each other. We weren't trying to find the latest trend or latest thing to go after. And I know in lieu of everything and all the stuff that's going on with Renee, but I do want to shout out because I wanted to do it last week and I couldn't. Another name that happened on Christmas Eve? On New Year's, another young man that was slain. I know the situations are somewhat different and everything like that, but I just want to make sure I got his name right because I did save it before I went offline for the last couple days and everything like that. But give me 2 seconds here, and I should be able to find the young man's name. So that way it'll at least be on our show and, a part of history before I get into this piece, which also might be normally during the flag raising. I only do one, and I know one of them that I am going to be doing is the Glass City Strong piece, but Keith Porter. So Keith Porter, to him and his family, I know there are a lot of other names.
Yes, sir.
We recently heard that there was like 25, 35 other people that have been murdered by ICE. And that's just the numbers we get because, people that might not have the correct papers are not going to be registered as in,
right.
accidents and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's different. I do want to say that, too, because I know our show is a little bit different. But on that aspect of stuff, yeah, it's a lot different. I've heard a lot of people connect them to Gestapo and stuff, but then I've heard the smart people of this country connect them to slave catchers, to basically the federal immunity of stuff. The Gestapo and all that stuff in World War II was a lot different. This is just literally a few people in office saying they can do whatever they want. And yes, we are going back to the issue of papers, which is crazy. How I didn't think I'd see it in my lifetime, or all the stuff. My prayers and thoughts go out to everybody in Minnesota that is fighting for some type of justice and recording. Keep your cameras on, keep yourself safe. Make sure you have addresses and stuff to lawyers. It's I don't see it getting any better. But this piece is going to be 5 minutes of heat. The intro to that, which this piece is called Subscribe. You heard it last year, which is funny because it was only a few weeks ago, but it's been re-edited thanks to a friend of mine who, as a creator, I take advice from those that I see in the field doing it, not from people that aren't anywhere or just doing other things and saying you can make money. So a friend of mine was like, I love that piece, but if you added this one thing into it. So this thing is added into it. It's a little bit longer. When I do volume 3 of the childhood trauma series, he will be getting credit as adding this edit into it. So,
all right.
Tell them about it, or you want me to just go into it?
Let's go on into it.
Well, we're going to go on
Let's
into
go.
it. I will be performing this tomorrow. Also, if you like this version of it, I say it's maybe 5 shows back if you go on YouTube, because you can't on Facebook anymore, because after 30 days things get deleted. But if you go about 5 shows back, ending the show, subscribe. Tell me if you like this version better. And I do believe I'll be doing this at the Pan-African flag raising along with Glass City Strong. So let's begin. Peace. Subscribe. What happened to people? Where did we all go? We don't have conversations anymore. Like, share, subscribe. Everything is a trauma bond or triggering in some way. Like, share, subscribe. I used to go to my friend's page and see something that happened in their day. And now all I see is short clips from other people's lives. Like, share, subscribe. I don't even know if you are you anymore because I don't see you anymore. Like, share, subscribe. Just advertisement and triggering information that I really did not need to know. Like, share, subscribe. But now I'm staring at it in awe because that could be me. Like, share, subscribe. It's like people don't even read the terms of service anymore. Like, share, subscribe. Just click and instantly apply this filter to whatever might be happening in your real life. Like, share, subscribe. So someone will respond to you, and the algorithm will let more of your friends who you already have see what you're doing. Like, share, subscribe. But if that many people responded to you all at once, you would be terrified and overwhelmed with the sight of every waking moment. Like, share, subscribe. I feel lost. Yes, lost. and the connection of others. Like, share, subscribe. Numb and overstimulated at the same time. Like, share, subscribe. But I just received a notification that my viewership is down. And if I applied this many filters, like share, subscribe, boosted this post, or bought this little blue check, like share, subscribe, that allows me into the exclusive opportunities, and posted this many videos of short clips of people abusing all of humanity, while my head floats in the corner, like share, subscribe, desensitized to chat. And funny story, when I first started streaming, I thought chat was a Tom, and there was always someone trying to encourage you, until I found out it was just the comments. I might make $1 or $2, and my rent is due. Like, share, subscribe. Prices have gone up, and I vacation only just to take a viral pic or video that some influencer who I'm almost 90% sure might not even be the real them. Like, share, subscribe. Since AI is the new thing, and he said, she said, I can do so I could be free. And the whole time you're in complete remorse, because things don't seem to be getting any better. Autocorrect is awesome. Trying to sound human. I hope you got that line back there. But our ancestors, the people before we decided to put ourselves in tiny boxes and pay bills and listen to people who looked down on us, but access for all of our wealth, didn't have therapists, didn't have health care, which seems more like a life sentence into a death that you might not be able to afford. They had nature and ancestors and long walks and breaking bread with each other, and villages that relied upon one another, and accountability, and making mistakes until you get it right, not letting some generated program that stole from other people's mistakes of getting it right make yours empty. That's what logging on feels like now. So I ask, what happened? What happened to people? Where did we all go? Stuck in our own devices, our own personal hells of obsessing over something that could give us nothing back but an empty black hole that is ever hungry and does not know compassion for humanity, because it has none. It's only capable of imitating what we feed it. And as we give ourselves less and less, maybe it does look more like reality. Like, share, subscribe, in peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. All right, Jody, and we is that one of the ones that we will hear?
I think I'm gonna do it, because I love Glass City Strong, and it's nice. It's our 250th year anniversary. But if we're going revolutionary, I think that
if we got to pick one,
we'll see on the day of. I might push it.
All right, and as always, all lives can't matter until what? Black lives matter, and Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else. Peace.